There's a type of person who walks into a room and you just feel it. It's not noise, it's not shouting, it's pure presence. Satoru Gojo is that guy. But the crazy part isn't that he's strong, it's that he knows it. And that knowing changes everything. The way he breathes, the way he walks, the way he talks to people around him. Like, he's not trying to impress anyone. He already knows he doesn't have to. Most of us spend our whole lives trying not to take up space, shrinking ourselves, hoping nobody notices us. Gojo does the exact opposite. And today, we're going to talk about why that works for him and why most of us can't pull it off. The question that's going to guide this whole video is dead simple. How does someone get so damn sure of themselves that they can be completely chill in literally any situation? Because here's the thing, Gojo didn't just wake up like that. This was built, forged, and if it could be forged in him, it can be forged in you too. So let's break it down. Gojo was born into one of the most powerful families in the jujutsu world, but what looks like a massive privilege. It was basically a cage. From the time he was a kid, he had a label slapped on him. You're special. You're the chosen one. This is your destiny. Everything pre-written. And yeah, it sounds cool, it sounds like you won the lottery, but it's heavy as hell. It's the weight of living up to expectations you never asked for. Waking up every day knowing the entire world is watching, waiting for you to reach a level most people spend their whole lives grinding for. When Gojo was younger, he wasn't the laid-back dude we know now. He was cocky, sure, but he was also a kid trying to figure out who the hell he actually was underneath all that expectation. Full of doubts, he tried to hide behind bravado that wasn't quite real yet. Then comes Geto, his best friend, his ride or die, the one person who truly got him, who was right there in the same boat carrying the same insane weight. And for a while, that worked. That bond made the pressure bearable. Then Toji shows up. Toji doesn't give a single fuck about anything. Not power, not destiny, not the rules of the jujutsu world. He just lives for his own freedom. And when Toji fights Gojo, he absolutely humiliates him, wipes the floor with him. And that moment breaks something in Gojo. Not in a fall into depression, lose the will to live way. No, it breaks him open in real time. Everything I thought was mine, my power, my destiny, it's not enough. I'm not the strongest. I'm not untouchable. And if I'm not, then who the hell am I? That was the turning point. After that loss, Gojo goes through a full transformation. And here's the most important psychological piece you need to get. When he awakens his technique, limitless, infinity, all that insane evolution. He doesn't just gain power, he gains something way more fundamental. Hard, undeniable proof that he can do things nobody else can. That's the real flip, because real self-confidence doesn't come from thinking you're good. It comes from doing things that prove you're good, over and over, consistently, until your brain has zero doubt left. Think about it. When you get a surprisingly good grade on something you were insecure about, you feel that little rush. Okay, maybe I'm actually decent at this. Now multiply that by 100. Gojo doesn't just pass, he obliterates. He wins battle after battle. Every win is another brick in the wall that says, yeah, I can handle this. And here's the neuroscience part. Every time you repeat a behavior, the neural pathways in your brain get stronger. It's like a trail in the woods. The more you walk it, the clearer and easier it gets. Confidence is a habit, a neural groove that gets deeper with repetition. The more Gojo uses his power, the more he wins. The more he proves to himself he can do it. The more automatic it becomes, the more natural, the more real. But there's a second mechanism that's even stronger. Gojo didn't just gain power, he gained control. He realized he gets to write the damn rules. His domain expansion isn't just an attack, it's literally his own universe, a space where he decides how reality works. Not the world, not his enemies, him. When you feel in control, even in one tiny area of your life, your whole brain shifts. You breathe differently, you talk differently, your posture changes. It's automatic. Your body knows you have power, and that's why Gojo walks around so damn relaxed. Deep down, he knows he can control the situation, always, anywhere. Now, here's what's wild about Gojo. He doesn't go around screaming about how strong he is. Actually, it's the opposite. He's got the blindfold on. He's cracking jokes with his students. He's playful. He's chill in this super humble way. And most people see that and think, man, this guy doesn't take anything seriously. But that's exactly the proof that he trusts himself completely. Because when you're truly confident, you don't need to prove shit. You don't need to flex or brag or remind everyone how good you are. You just are the guy who's always talking about himself, dropping his success stories every 5 minutes, that's insecurity wearing a mask. That's fear that people will forget or won't notice. That's constant craving for validation. Gojo doesn't need any of that. He's so secure he can be genuinely humble because he knows nobody's forgetting who he is anyway. Blindfold and all, jokes and all. And one more thing, Gojo talks to his students in a way that makes them feel seen. He listens, he's present, he builds real connection. But it all comes from strength, not from some insecure void he's trying to fill. That's authentic charisma, not manipulation, not tricks. Just being genuinely confident and genuinely present, and people are naturally drawn to it. Confidence is contagious. It makes everyone around you feel safe. And when someone tries to challenge him, tries to put him in his place, Gojo doesn't get defensive. He barely reacts. Because deep down, he knows he can handle anything. Could he lose? Technically, yeah. But it wouldn't shake who he is inside. That's real psychological power. But let's be real about something nobody talks about enough. Gojo has a wound that doesn't show on the surface. It's the loneliness that comes with being unmatched. When you're so strong that literally nobody is on your level. When no one can truly understand the weight you're carrying, you're alone. Completely alone. Geto was different. Geto came close to being on the same level. And they had that real deep friendship. Two guys who actually understood each other because they were walking the same impossible path. Then, Geto walks away. Geto looks at the world and decides it's all bullshit, that weak humans aren't worth sacrificing his life for. And he chooses a different path, one Gojo can't follow. When Geto leaves, Gojo doesn't just lose a friend. He loses the last person who truly understood him, the last person on his level, the last real human connection he had. And that's when you realize the brutal truth. Absolute power doesn't mean absolute connection. Usually it means the opposite. The stronger you get, the further you drift from people. Fewer can keep up, fewer can relate, and you're left standing at the top, completely alone, looking at the world from a place nobody else can reach. Gojo carries that quietly. Then comes the moment when even absolute confidence isn't enough. Sukuna, a monster from another era, another level of power entirely. And when they finally clash, when shit gets real, Gojo learns something he never had to learn before. He can be beaten, and here's the huge psychological shift that happens in that moment. For years, Gojo was untouchable. Nobody could get near him. Nobody could even scratch him. And that absolute confidence slowly morphed into something darker, a disconnection from reality. He started believing he truly was invincible, that nothing could ever take him down. And when you reach that point, when you genuinely believe you can't lose, you stop preparing to lose. You stop respecting the game. You stop staying sharp. Then someone who's been grinding, who's been evolving in the shadows, catches you sleeping, exploits a blind spot, because arrogance is a blind spot. Confidence without grounding is blindness. Real psychology backs this up. Power literally changes your brain. Studies show people in power think more abstractly, take bigger risks, rely on stereotypes more, make black and white judgments faster, and, crucially, lose a bit of empathy along the way.
Gojo is not immune. The more powerful he got, the less anyone could touch him. The more he started seeing people as pieces on a board instead of humans with their own struggles and pain. It's sneaky. It's not on purpose. It's just what happens when you get too much power and lose real human connection. But here's what matters. Confidence without reality is arrogance, and arrogance is fragile as hell. Real confidence is different. It respects challenges. It knows you're damn good, but others can be too. It knows even if you're strong, you're not immortal. It knows you can fall. The difference between confidence and arrogance is actually pretty simple. Confidence knows what it can do, so it prepares. It trains. It respects the possibility of failure. Confidence stays grounded in reality. Arrogance thinks it knows what it can do, so it gets sloppy. It assumes the win is already in the bag. Arrogance loses respect for the game. One stays ready, the other gets careless, and Gojo got careless. So back to that original question. How do you get so sure of yourself that you can be completely relaxed in any situation? Now you know. It's not a gift. It's not something you're born with. It's built. And there are very specific pieces to the process. First, you prove to yourself that you can do it, over and over. Small wins that stack into real confidence, not the fake shit you perform for others. Confidence that's in your bones because you've already shown yourself you can deliver. Second, you build a sense of control in some areas of your life, even if it's small. Your routine, your body, your craft, your work. When you control one thing, your brain starts generalizing. If I can control this, maybe I can control more. Third, you stop trying to impress people. When you're actually confident, you don't need to prove anything. And ironically, That's when people respect you the most, because real confidence is magnetic. Nobody wants to be around someone desperate for approval. And fourth, the most important one, the one that changes everything. You stay grounded in reality. You don't confuse confidence with arrogance. You know you can be great at something and still get beat. You can be strong and still have weaknesses. You can win 100 times and still lose the next one. Because when you respect reality, when you respect the game, when you respect the chance you might be wrong, that's when you're truly unbreakable. Gojo eventually learns that. That's the weight he carries, the loneliness of being unmatched, the pressure of always having to be right, the scar of standing alone at the top. And that's exactly what makes him who he is. The lesson isn't to go out and be arrogant like young Gojo. It's not to walk around thinking you're the best. The lesson is that the confidence you see in him, it's not magic. It's not something he was born with. It's built, and you can build yours too.